Now questions? Okay. Brian?
Mark, in your years of doing this, have you ever had a season like this as challenging in terms of the availability of guys, whether it's injuries or suspensions?
Um, I think the latter, yeah. There's been times in past history where there's been a lot more issues with that, a lot more off field things. For the injury part of it, I don't think so. But everybody kind of over dramatizes. What's the right word? Dramatizes things. But yeah, we've had a bunch of them, but a lot of other people have as well.
Without being bowl eligible, how do you balance playing the seniors still and also looking forward to next year and getting the younger guys maybe more reps that they haven't gotten so far?
Yeah, we'll play the best guy, the best guys to win this game, and we're gonna have a bunch of challenging moments as far as getting guys ready that are getting ready to go to Utah to win that game against a great coach, great team, and whoever are the best guys are going to play.
Joey.
Dylan Mitchell, was back there returning punts. What did you see out of him to put him back there? How much has he developed over the course of this season?
Yeah, he's a guy that just hasn't been available for the majority of the year, and now he's kind of making a statement just by what he's done in practice. Didn't get too many opportunities, unfortunately, in the game to make too much happen, either offensively or in the return game. But yeah, another guy that's an extremely talented, inexperienced guy.
Kristen.
With just 2 games left, in your eyes, what would make this season a success?
Everybody bought in. Everybody competing and fighting every single day to get better. And that's coaches, that's players, everybody. And again, for the most part, have done a good job of that.
Does it become difficult to kind of keep guys motivated when you're 3-7, seasons no longer bowl eligible?
I mean, yeah, the frustrations are different. I think guys, there's always a segment of a team that's frustrated, whether that's a role or position. There's always something. This is different, and it's not any fun. There's not having a ton of fun, which is something you have to try to squeeze out of it at this point. And play to their competitiveness, play to all those aspects of why they're here, and again get the right guys that are on board to compete.
Check with Andrew. Okay, go ahead, Brian.
Justin's face looks like he really wears these losses. What have you learned about him, and what can he do to kind of learn from this situation he's in going forward?
Yeah, I mean, no question, he cares a lot. He cares a lot, and his teammates recognize that passion, and I think he can show that a little bit differently at times, which is that's a great problem. A guy that cares too much and is too passionate about it, that's a great problem. Or how he expresses that. He's just so quiet by nature. That can be taken different ways, and it's passion. It's wanting to be perfect for his teammates, and just by virtue of how little he communicates, that can be taken the wrong way. But he took some shots yesterday, and we kept him in there to see how he would respond, and he responded really well. When you look the first 7 drives, we were stopped by drop, penalty, fumble, which again was just him trusting himself. A missed assignment. We play clean, we score a touchdown. We have a penalty that leads to a turnover, and play clean, have a touchdown. And so just a lot of the issues, a couple of those picks were not on him, and we'll get that coached up at all the different spots.
Okay.
Oh, sorry. Looking back at the tape, what were some positives from the game yesterday?
I think just that of Justin's reaction to some of that stuff. I thought Royce at times ran better. We put too many yards to yield not enough points. So there's a lot of good stuff going on there that again, whether it's a drop or a penalty, or that's one guy. We need to coach up the technique better, of those situational things. Defensively, got a couple stops there early offensively. Needed to help them out just to make it tougher. I thought right coming out of halftime they competed their tails off, and then we had the punt hit us in the back. So that could have been a huge transition point. Special teams, McCaffrey was limited for the most part. Obviously, they took him out there at the end, but guys ran around and covered well in the kicking game.
Andrew, you have anything?
Yeah, I do. With Taj Griffin, Mark, is that the same injury? Is that the same knee he hurt in high school as a senior?
I would have to double. I believe so, but I would have to double check that. I thought I heard them talking about that in that vein, but I'm not 100% sure.
Okay. You've maintained all along you guys have to keep coaching guys up and coaching them better. But with regard to the defensive line, you've got 5 guys down from the start of the season who are now lost for the remainder of the year. So what can feasibly be done by Brady, by Ron, to get this thing a little bit better in the next 2 games?
Yeah, I mean that part of that is who's available, and that's a reality / excuse, And so you're doing a few things differently from a front standpoint. You're moving guys around a little bit more. You're blitzing a little bit more rather than playing base, but trying to change it up. And the biggest thing with regard to Stanford versus some of these other teams is they create obviously the issues on the edge with 6, 7, 8 offensive linemen in there, and so we can't just put in 8 D linemen that we don't have. So that creates a challenge, but challenges are opportunities as well.
Mark, I'd love to ask Rob Mullins this, but he declined your interview request. So I guess I'll just ask you. I mean, do you feel that you are operating with the confidence of the AD right now after at midseason? Rob said he had full confidence you guys could turn things around. Hasn't happened that way. Do you still feel like you have his confidence?
Well, obviously he's the only one that can answer that, but I have total confidence in what we're doing. Obviously the results again have not been what anybody wants, and I'm responsible for that. Period. We didn't play well. We didn't play well enough in any phase yesterday, and that's my responsibility. But I believe 100% in what we're doing. Our guys, again, have continued to fight regardless of situation. We had a great weekend from a recruiting standpoint, and that's always one of those weird situations of you think the world's coming to an end, and there's 6 guys that are fired up about their opportunity, and so we will continue to fight. We'll continue to do the right things, and it will turn.
And then lastly for me, just given that Pat Kilkenny is going to go on the radio tomorrow and make an appearance, kind of unusual to do that, I'm just curious how much in contact you are with both Pat and Phil Knight, and what those conversations are like with the season that obviously hasn't turned out how you would like.
I'm not aware of exactly what you're talking about, but
Pat's apparently going on John tomorrow.
Gotcha. Yeah, I think if there's 2 people that again, really 4 people with Penny and Stephanie, but 4 people that I care so much about, obviously what they've done for this state, this program, this world in a lot of ways, and how we're performing. Those people that hits to my core, and I have complete respect and admiration for all of them. And Pat is an incredible man. And I have no idea what he's going to say. I haven't had a conversation with him about anything in that regard, but we're constantly in communication, weekly.
Thanks, Mark.
Yep.
Andrew kind of took one of my first questions there, but during these hard times, who do you rely on? Who are you talking with when there's talk about maybe bringing in a new guy for next year?
I don't sit around and worry about that. We have to worry about plugging some other holes and being in solution mode. Obviously, I think my wife is still on my side. I'm fairly sure. But there's a lot of perspective out there in the world, and again, we're going to keep doing the right thing. Period.
I think last week or 2 weeks ago, you went on Portland radio and they asked you about who do you hear from a positive standpoint, and you said that a lot of recruits are coming to you in positive manner. What have you heard from them about this season, and why have they stuck so positively with you so far, and what they've said?
Yeah, I think generally opportunity. Generally a lot of guys they're coming from teams that are maybe winning programs that they don't win every game, and they realize that's a possibility, the cyclical nature of things. But I think opportunity, and again, this is still a great program. We're having a lull right now, but those things don't happen or disintegrate overnight.
More questions? Okay. See, I assume.